I still remember the temperature of the room when the glass tipped. Cold crystal, warm wine, red across my eyes, my collar, my dignity. New Year's dinner, candles, forced smiles, a table set like a stage. My father-in-law didn't hesitate. He flicked his wrist the way men do when they believe power belongs to them by birthright. "Learn your place," he said. My wife's sister laughed first, loud, sharp, cruel. "Thanks, Dad. Maybe that'll teach him some respect, filthy pig." That word stayed with me. Not the wine, the word. I felt my hands lock around the chair. Wood creaked. My heartbeat slowed instead of racing. That's how I knew something had changed. Rage didn't flood me. Focus did. I stood up. I didn't shout. I didn't threaten. I smiled. And I made one phone call. They had no idea who they were dealing with. I used to think respect was built by endurance, by staying quiet, by proving loyalty again and again until people finally saw your worth. That belief is what they mistook for weakness. When I married into that family, I married into money that screamed but never spoke sense. Old manufacturing wealth, generational arrogance, men who thought shouting was strategy and humiliation was leadership. I wasn't born rich. I was built, quietly, deliberately. I helped them modernize operations. I optimized supply chains. I fixed problems no one wanted to admit existed. Every win got credited upward, every loss drifted down to me. My wife watched it happen and said nothing. That silence hurt more than the wine. Betrayal never arrives loudly. It leaks. The first sign was the meeting I wasn't invited to. The second was the bank notification I received by accident. The third was the lawyer who stopped returning my calls. Then I saw the document, a restructuring plan. My name removed, my equity reassigned. Signatures dated weeks before the dinner. They hadn't just disrespected me, they had planned to erase me. That was the moment pain turned into calculation. I didn't confront them. I didn't warn them. I prepared. I spent nights reviewing contracts they assumed I'd never read. I listened more than I spoke. I recorded nothing illegally. I documented everything legally. They had underestimated two things: my patience and my foresight. Years ago, when I was still the helpful son-in-law, I'd created a retirement trust. It was framed as tax optimization. Boring, invisible, approved without questions. What they never noticed was the clause that mattered: voting rights, contingent, irrevocable, 76%. Not in my name, in the trust's, and I controlled the trust. "You're outdated," the CEO hissed during what he thought was my final meeting. "We're done here." I nodded. Understood. That was the moment the trust activated. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. The question wasn't why the CEO was fired. It was, who just fired the person who technically owned the company? The dinner humiliation came after that meeting. They still didn't know. They thought they were celebrating my removal. The wine was their victory lap. My phone call wasn't to a lawyer. It was to the board chair. "I'm ready," I said. The fallout was surgical. First, an independent audit, mandatory under trust authority. Then executive suspensions, temporary pending review. Then asset freezes, precautionary. My father-in-law's face when he realized the company accounts were locked was something I will remember forever. Not anger, confusion. Power leaving a man feels like gravity reversing. My sister-in-law stopped laughing when her bonus vanished, when her guaranteed promotion dissolved into an HR investigation. My wife cried, not because of what they did to me, because she finally understood what I had become. The confrontation was private. No shouting, no whine. Just me, clean shirt, steady voice. "You humiliated me," I said. "You underestimated me," I added. "You forgot who made this company solvent." My father-in-law tried to speak. I raised a finger. "No," I said. "You've spoken enough." I didn't take revenge by destroying them. I took it by removing them. Advisory roles, no authority, no access, generous severance tied to silence, exile disguised as mercy. I left the marriage 2 months later. No courtroom drama, no public spectacle, just a signature. Some betrayals don't deserve confrontation. They deserve consequences. People ask if I regret not reacting at the dinner, not standing up sooner, not throwing something back. They misunderstand revenge. Revenge isn't loud. It's precise. It waits. It documents. It executes when escape is impossible. That night, red wine dried on my collar. By spring, their names were gone from the building. And every New Year's since, I raise a glass alone, not in bitterness, not in anger, but in silence, because silence, when chosen, is power.